intentional about everything in life.
Coming up on today's broadcast.
My jaws just dropped. I was shocked. I thought, what have I done? Why did I have to ask her? We've never spoken. Oh my God. So I just started apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. You hear people say time is a healer, but time is not a healer. Jesus is the healer. And I love that statement because, oh yes, life goes on. It might feel like you're going to lose your mind, but you wouldn't.
Just might have a problem that you understand.
Hello viewers, once again this is Be Intentional on your screen, and all too soon we're coming to the end of our episode on grief. I believe you and I have learned a lot. We've gained vast insight into what grief is and how to support somebody who is grieving a loss. I have learned a lot personally, and I know that you all have really learned a lot. It has been an emotional but amazing journey, and a special thank you goes to my guest on grief, Mrs. Lodino Owusu, who was bold and brave enough to share her story with us just so we can grasp the reality of suffering a loss. Thank you, Lodina. I really appreciate that effort. It was great. I know it wasn't easy. I know it was a very difficult one, but you managed to get through with it. Thank you so much. To finish it all, we're going to talk about practical ways, what we can say, what we can do, some of the things we can do, because as you know, in our previous videos, we've talked about, most especially, we've concentrated on what not to say, the cliches that we always use. But today we're going to talk about the practical ways, the practical things we can say. But before I go into that, there was an experience I had a couple of weeks ago at my workplace. I happened to be waiting for a lift, and there was this lady I'd not seen in a while. She's not my colleague. We work in the same building, but she was expecting a baby, and so when we never had to meet again to get on the lift, I thought, she's on maternity. Now, there was she, beautifully dressed, looking so well, glowing, and I thought, I've never said hello to her. We've never exchanged pleasantries. Do I get to ask her, what do you have? Boy, girl? I was very interested, you know. And prior to that, I'd met her on the lift with her little girl, very beautiful girl. So that actually got me more interested. I wanted to see what she had again. Did she have a boy? Did she have a girl? So I thought, I'm going to sound nosy, going to ask, does she even know me? Has she ever noticed that we get on the lift? Anyway, I made the choice to say hello, and then I went like, oh, hello, congratulations. I realized you were expecting. What did you have? And with a broad, beautiful smile, she went, oh, I had a baby girl, but unfortunately she had to go to heaven after she came. My jaws just dropped. I was shocked. I thought, what have I done? Why did I have to ask her? We've never spoken. Oh my God. So I just started apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry to ask you this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize I wasn't talking about how sorry I was about the loss. I just felt, I'm sorry I reminded you. And then she said, no. Actually, this is what I want. Because I can see people are treading on eggshells around me. Nobody is asking about the loss. Nobody is asking about the baby as if it never happened. And I'm very glad that somebody could ask. And you could see the genuineness of the relief she had or she felt when finally somebody had to ask. And trust me, even after parting ways, getting to my office, I couldn't get over the thought of, what have I done? And I sat down and I thought about it. And then last week, after the episode of a mother losing a child, somebody gave me a call and the person said, it's true, there is an incident that happened at church. I play a very vital role. Not that she meant because she played a vital role, it matters. But she stands in front of the congregation. Everybody knows her. And she was expecting. She went almost full term. We're talking about in her 8th month. And somehow, some way, she lost the baby. So she had to deliver the baby, stillbirth. And she said, well, I had church leadership visiting me. I had the pastor visiting me. Now, I didn't stay away from church after I had the baby because I couldn't bring myself to be alone. I couldn't bring myself to be crying over that loss. So by the next Sunday, I was already in church. But she said one thing that broke her heart. Never for once was it announced that sister so-and-so or this family has lost the child they were expecting. And to her, if she had the child, it would have been announced and people would have gone like, oh, congratulations, oh, she's beautiful. So she couldn't understand why nobody bothered. And the church didn't talk about it. Nobody talked about it. People just see and pass as though they didn't notice she was expecting. And they do ask her, how are you? Like the normal, how are you, as we all know it to be. But she wanted people to ask, how are you coping? How are you doing? But most importantly, she wished it was acknowledged in the pulpit, because it's not a big church. We're talking about a church of about 60 to 70 people. So she wished even on that Sunday, the pastor could say, can we have this family forward? Can we stand with them in prayer? Can we pray with them that the Lord will strengthen them as they go through this? But it wasn't even announced, and that broke her heart. When she said that, oh God, I was ashamed because of the many times I have seen people lose a pregnancy, and I have kind of ignored it because should I talk about it? Should I not talk about it? And I realized that that was a big thing because she had this big baby bump. There was no way nobody wouldn't have noticed it. And then I thought about casting my mind back. And sometimes it's like, don't let me mention it just in case I remind her of the pain and she gets sad. But this is what I want to share with us today, that lovely people, we cannot ever assume that the bereaved person doesn't want to talk about it. You cannot assume, and neither do they ever forget about the loss. One thing bereaved people or people grieving a loss never ever forget is what happened, how it happened, the day it happened. So somebody who has lost a loved one, trust me, they would always remember. Somebody losing a child, they would always remember the birthday of the child. They never forget about it. So you don't get to think that they have forgotten, so you are the one going to remind them by asking. People really want you to ask. So please feel free. It's not awkward. I know it feels awkward, yeah? But just ask. And if somebody wants to talk about it, they will talk about it. Because the truth is, grief is not something anybody completes. You don't complete grief. You learn to endure. You learn to go through it. You learn to live with it. People find their own way eventually to deal with the grief over time, but people don't forget about it. People don't complete the grieving process. So whatever you do, ask, do you want to talk about it? One thing Lodina mentioned in her video was that you hear people say time is a healer, but time is not a healer. Jesus is the healer. And I love that statement, because one thing I find people thinking or creating that impression that time is a healer, time is a healer, time is a healer. You wonder, what time are you talking about? Whose time? Oh, you mean the timetable that you set for me, that after a year or two I should have moved on and forgotten it ever happened? Is that the time you're talking about? No. Time is not a healer. Jesus is the healer. So you don't go rushing people to move on through the grieving process. Sometimes you hear things like, after all these years, are you still grieving? After all these years, are you still thinking? Are you still morose about this? Are you still depressed about this? You cannot go saying that to people. You just have to know that grief is a process, and this kind of admonition does nothing. It does harm than good. It doesn't help in any way. It's almost like you're telling somebody who is paralyzed in the leg that run faster. It's not possible. Please give people time. One thing my husband said that helped me so much, I mean, it was just good. One of the days I got tired of myself, really tired of grieving, tired of crying, tired of the pain. I felt weary of the pain. And I thought, when is it going to end? When is it going to stop? Is it ever going to get better? And I really wanted to move on, if there is any word like that. I wanted to move on. I wanted to stop grieving. I wanted to be back to normal. I thought, am I losing it? I thought, I've got kids. I need to be there for them. I've got a husband. I need to be there for him. I need to still be a mother again. I need to still be a wife again. I need to still be a happy person. I'm just fed up with the pain. But the pain wouldn't go. It was just there. The more I tried, the harder it became. But he said something. What my husband said was, be patient with yourself, Chesca, and give yourself time to heal. Man, that was good. That was golden. Be patient with yourself and give yourself time to heal. You know, when he said that, I thought, okay, give yourself time to heal. It means that there is a healing time, a healing period that would come. I'm not going to feel frustrated the way I am. There is a time coming which is called a healing period, and it's going to come. So I need to be patient and look forward to it. I need to give myself time to get to that process. And that was good. It didn't put any pressure on me at the end of the day. It only gave me that hope that there is a healing process. It can get better. It would get easier. And that was good. It just gave me the opportunity to look forward to that. So those are some of the things you can tell people. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself time to heal. One other thing you can do is just stay connected. Stay connected and be available. I don't mean just barge into their homes, but in these day and age, we've got internet, we've got Facebook, we've got WhatsApp, we've got Instagram, we've got text messages, we've got WhatsApp, we've got everything going for us. All you've got to do is send a text message to somebody. Tell them, I'm here for you. I'm here with you. I'm standing with you in this pain. Let the bereaved person know that you will check in often. You would be there for them. They need to be patient and give them time to heal. Don't get offended when you're calling them and they're not picking your phones. Don't make it personal. It's not about you. Don't make it personal. Give them time to get through the process. Let them just be there simply knowing that you are there, that a friend is there to support them. That in itself is comforting. So that's one thing you can do. As I've listened to friends and acquaintances who suffered all manner of loss, the words that consistently mean the most important to them from what they told me is that I am with you and I am for you. So whether you feel particularly equipped or not, the job description for supporting a grieving person is just to show up and it's just to be there. Just be there for them. Give them a call. Don't get offended. Don't get offended. Don't take it personal. So yes, just give them a break. But stay connected. You can say things like, it matters to me how you feel, and I'm here for you. Whenever you're ready to talk, I will be right there. Those are things you can say to people.
Be intentional about everything.